Long before European ships reached these shores, a vibrant land thrived. This land was home to a multitude of Native American civilizations, each with its own unique culture and way of life. These early inhabitants had a deep connection to the land, which provided them with everything they needed to survive and flourish. Native American civilizations dotted the continent, from the dense forests of the east to the vast plains of the Midwest. They built thriving communities, each adapted to their specific environment. Their settlements were not just places to live but were centers of culture, trade, and social life. From the eastern woodlands to the Great Plains, they flourished. The eastern woodlands were home to tribes like the Iroquois and Algonquin, who lived in longhouses and relied on the rich forests for hunting and gathering. Meanwhile, the Great Plains were inhabited by nomadic tribes such as the Sioux and Cheyenne, who followed the buffalo herds and lived in teepees. These diverse cultures possessed unique languages, beliefs, and ways of life. Their languages were as varied as the landscapes they inhabited, and their spiritual beliefs were deeply intertwined with nature. Ceremonies and rituals played a crucial role in their societies, marking important events and seasons. The Pueblo people built intricate cities in the southwest. These cities, such as those found in Mesa Verde, were constructed into the sides of cliffs, providing both shelter and defense. The Puebloans were skilled architects and engineers, creating multi-story buildings with complex layouts. Their pottery and artistry remain awe-inspiring. Pueblo pottery is renowned for its intricate designs and craftsmanship, often depicting scenes from daily life and nature. These artifacts provide a window into the rich cultural heritage of the Pueblo people. The Cherokee, powerful in the southeast, developed a written language. This remarkable achievement was largely due to the efforts of Sequoyah, who created the Cherokee syllabary, enabling the Cherokee people to read and write in their own language. This showed their advanced society. The ability to write allowed the Cherokee to document their history, laws, and traditions, preserving their culture for future generations. It also facilitated communication and governance within their communities. In the Midwest, the mound-building cultures left behind impressive earthworks. These mounds, some of which are still visible today, served various purposes, including burial sites, ceremonial centers, and platforms for buildings. These monuments speak to their sophistication and connection to the land. The construction of these mounds required a deep understanding of engineering and a strong communal effort, reflecting the organized and cooperative nature of these societies. These first Americans thrived for centuries before contact changed their world forever. The arrival of Europeans brought profound changes, but the legacy of these early civilizations endures, reminding us of the rich tapestry of cultures that once flourished across this land. Their stories, traditions, and achievements continue to inspire and inform our understanding of America's diverse heritage. The arrival of Europeans brought significant and lasting changes to the Americas. Colonization led to the widespread displacement and dispossession of Native Americans. European diseases ravaged indigenous populations, severely weakening their resistance. The introduction of new crops and livestock dramatically transformed the landscape. Tobacco, cotton, and sugar became major cash crops, driving the demand for labor. This demand led to the transatlantic slave trade, a dark and tragic chapter in human history. Millions of Africans were forcibly transported to the Americas, enslaved to work on plantations. Their forced labor fueled the growth of colonial economies, but came at a terrible human cost. In 1775, the simmering conflict between Great Britain and its American colonies erupted into open warfare. The tensions had been building for years, fueled by issues such as taxation without representation, the imposition of British laws, and the desire for greater autonomy. The colonies, feeling increasingly oppressed and marginalized, saw no other option but to take up arms against what they perceived as a tyrannical regime. The American Revolution was a fight for liberty and self-determination. It was a struggle to break free from the shackles of colonial rule and to establish a nation founded on the principles of freedom and equality. The revolutionaries were driven by a vision of a society where individuals could govern themselves and enjoy the fruits of their labor without interference from a distant monarch. The colonists, led by George Washington, faced a formidable foe in the British Army. The British forces were well-trained, well-equipped, and experienced in warfare. In contrast, the Continental Army was a ragtag group of volunteers, many of whom had little to no military experience. Yet, under Washington's leadership, they were able to rally and fight with determination and resilience. Despite early setbacks, the Continental Army persevered. They endured harsh winters, lack of supplies, and the constant threat of defeat. The soldiers' commitment to the cause of independence kept them going, even in the face of overwhelming odds. Their perseverance was a testament to their belief in the ideals of liberty and justice. The Declaration of Independence, signed on July 4, 1776, boldly proclaimed the colony's separation from Great Britain. This historic document, drafted primarily by Thomas Jefferson, articulated the colony's grievances against the British Crown and outlined their vision for a new nation. It was a declaration of the right to self-governance and a statement of the fundamental principles that would guide the new nation. It declared that all men are created equal, endowed with certain unalienable rights, including life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. These words resonated deeply with the colonists and provided a powerful rallying cry for the revolution. The Declaration of Independence was not just a political statement, it was a profound expression of the values and aspirations that would shape the United States. The American Revolution was not just a military conflict, it was a battle of ideas. The revolutionaries engaged in passionate debates about the nature of government, the rights of individuals, and the principles of justice and equality. These discussions were fueled by a rich tradition of political thought and a deep commitment to the ideals of the Enlightenment. The colonists drew inspiration from Enlightenment thinkers like John Locke, who argued for natural rights and limited government. Locke's ideas about the social contract and the right of the people to overthrow a government that fails to protect their rights were particularly influential. The revolutionaries saw themselves as part of a broader movement for human rights and self-determination. Thomas Paine's pamphlet Common Sense galvanized public opinion in favor of independence. Paine's clear and compelling arguments made the case for breaking away from British rule and establishing a republic. His writing was accessible and persuasive, reaching a wide audience and helping to build support for the revolutionary cause. The revolution also witnessed the emergence of exceptional leaders like Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, and Alexander Hamilton. These individuals brought their unique talents and perspectives to the revolutionary effort. Franklin's diplomatic skills, Jefferson's eloquence, and Hamilton's strategic acumen were all crucial to the success of the revolution. Their contributions to diplomacy, political thought, and military strategy proved instrumental in securing American victory. The efforts of these leaders, combined with the bravery and determination of countless soldiers and citizens, ultimately led to the establishment of the United States of America. The revolution was a defining moment in history, a testament to the power of ideas and the enduring quest for freedom and justice. The American victory at Yorktown in 1781 secured independence. This pivotal moment marked the end of a long and arduous struggle for freedom, a struggle that had seen countless sacrifices and acts of bravery. The triumph at Yorktown was not just a military victory, it was a symbol of hope and the beginning of a new era for the 13 colonies. The new nation faced the daunting task of governing itself. The euphoria of victory soon gave way to the sobering reality of nation building. Leaders and citizens alike grappled with the complexities of creating a unified government that could effectively manage the diverse needs and interests of the states. The Articles of Confederation, the first attempt at a national government, proved too weak to effectively address the challenges facing the young republic. The Articles granted limited powers to the central government, leaving most authority with the states. This decentralized approach led to numerous problems, including economic instability, lack of a unified foreign policy, and difficulties in raising revenue. In 1787, delegates from the states gathered in Philadelphia to revise the Articles. This historic meeting, known as the Constitutional Convention, brought together some of the brightest minds of the era, including George Washington, James Madison, and Benjamin Franklin. Their goal was to create a stronger, more effective framework for governance. The result was the United States Constitution, a remarkable document that has stood the test of time. The Constitution established the foundational principles of American democracy, outlining the structure and powers of the government while ensuring the protection of individual liberties. The Constitution established a system of government based on separation of powers, checks and balances, and federalism. This innovative design divided the government into three branches: legislative, executive, and judicial, each with distinct powers and responsibilities. The system of checks and balances ensured that no single branch could dominate the others, promoting a balance of power. It divided power between the federal government and the states, creating a balance that has endured for centuries. This federalist system allowed for a dynamic interplay between national and state authorities, enabling the country to adapt and grow while maintaining a cohesive national identity. The Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments to the Constitution, guaranteed fundamental rights and freedoms to all citizens. These amendments were added to address concerns about the potential for government overreach and to ensure the protection of individual liberties. These rights included freedom of speech, a cornerstone of democratic society that allows individuals to express their thoughts and ideas without fear of government censorship. Religion, the press, ensuring that citizens could worship freely and that the media could operate independently, providing a check on government power. The right to bear arms, which was seen as essential for the defense of liberty and the protection of the nation, and protection against unreasonable searches and seizures, safeguarding personal privacy and property from arbitrary government intrusion. With a new government in place, the United States embarked on an era of westward expansion. This period of growth and exploration was driven by the belief in manifest destiny, the idea that Americans were destined to expand across the continent. Pioneers and settlers ventured into unknown territories, facing numerous hardships and challenges as they sought new opportunities and a better life. This westward movement played a crucial role in shaping the nation's identity and its future.